Okay, so are you ready to dive into some Marvel Comics?
Always.
All right, cool. So today's deep dive, we're going to be looking at five iconic Marvel heroes.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're talking Iron Man,
Love him.
Captain America,
A classic. Deadpool.
Wolverine,
So cool.
and Thor.
The God of Thunder.
Now, whether you're a die-hard comic book fan or you just know these guys from the movies, uh, this deep dive is going to be fun for you because we're going to uncover some stuff you may not know about these characters.
Definitely some fun facts and unexpected connections.
Exactly.
Eh.
So let's jump right in, and let's start with Iron Man.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of interesting if you think about it. Tony Stark is like this billionaire playboy,
Rah.
and you wouldn't really think that that would be a recipe for a very likable character.
Right.
And even Stan Lee said that he thought it would be a challenge to make Tony Stark likable to readers.
And it is kind of surprising that he is as beloved as he is. I mean, like you said, he's this arrogant, self-absorbed industrialist,
Yeah.
but that's part of what makes him so interesting is that he goes through this huge transformation
Right.
to become this hero who puts others before himself and ends up sacrificing everything for the greater good.
Yeah, and I think that's why he resonates with so many people.
Yeah.
You know, because he's not perfect.
Yeah,
And we all have our flaws.
exactly. We can all relate to that struggle with our own egos.
Exactly. And speaking of Tony Stark's genius, we got to talk about the Iron Man suit.
Oh, yeah, the suit.
Yeah, it's so much more than just a costume.
It's like a symbol of human ingenuity.
Yeah, and we've seen it evolve so much from those first, like, clunky metal suits
I know, right?
to the super sleek nanotech suits we see now.
It really is a reflection of how technology has advanced.
And it makes you think, like, what will they come up with next?
Well, and even the arc reactor technology, which powers the suit,
Right.
that has some roots in real science.
Oh, wow.
Scientists are actually exploring similar concepts to try to develop new, clean energy solutions.
You're telling me that we could have arc reactor technology in real life?
It's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, it may take a while, but who knows?
That would be incredible.
Imagine that.
All right, well, let's move on to Captain America.
Okay.
So he's been around since World War II,
That's right.
fighting for truth, justice, and the American way.
A true symbol of American patriotism.
But, you know, he's more than just a patriotic symbol.
That's true. He
Yeah.
embodies these universal values of courage and honor and self-sacrifice.
I mean, he really does represent the best of humanity.
Exactly.
And his shield, which is like his signature weapon.
The vibranium shield?
Yeah, that actually comes from Wakanda,
Home of the Black Panther.
which just goes to show how interconnected the whole Marvel universe is.
Exactly. These little details can really make the world feel so much richer.
And of course, we can't forget that Captain America is worthy enough to wield Thor's hammer, Mjolnir.
Oh, yeah. That was an epic moment in Endgame.
I know.
Gave me chills.
I know everybody's losing their minds.
That scene really shows how much Captain America has grown as a character.
Yeah, it really shows how worthy he is.
And worthiness is something that's super important to Thor's character as well.
Right.
It's not just about strength, it's about being worthy of the power that you wield.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's move on to something a little bit different, shall we?
Sure.
Let's talk about Deadpool.
The merc with a mouth.
Wade Wilson. He's definitely not your typical hero.
No, he's not. He kind of breaks the mold.
Yeah, he's a total anti-hero.
He's sarcastic, he's irreverent, he doesn't take anything too seriously.
But he's still a hero at heart.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He wants to do good, even though he has a very strange way of going about it.
And it's interesting that he actually started out as a parody of Deathstroke.
From DC Comics.
Yeah,
But he quickly evolved into his own unique character.
and he's become incredibly popular.
I mean, who doesn't love a good anti-hero?
And his healing factor is insane.
It's like he can regenerate from almost anything.
He's practically immortal,
It makes you think about what it would actually be like to be indestructible.
right? Like, what would that do to your outlook on life?
It's a pretty profound question.
It is. Well, speaking of incredible healing factors, let's move on to Wolverine.
Okay.
Now, this guy is shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, we don't know a whole lot about his past.
His real name is James Howlett, or Logan.
And he's been alive for centuries.
Centuries.
Thanks to his adamantium skeleton and his crazy healing factor.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of history.
He's a living legend.
And those adamantium claws,
Oh yeah, you can't forget about those.
they're iconic.
They're a symbol of his strength and his resilience.
And his willingness to fight for what he believes in.
Even when it's hard.
Did you know that Wolverine actually predates the X-Men?
Really?
Yeah, his first appearance was actually in an Incredible Hulk comic.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of history outside of the X-Men.
He's definitely a complex character.
All right, well, last but not least, let's talk about Thor.
The god of thunder.
So Thor is like our direct connection to Norse mythology.
He brings those ancient legends to life in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, I mean, his powers over lightning, his hammer, Mjolnir.
All that comes from Norse mythology.
And one of the most interesting things about Thor is this whole concept of worthiness.
Especially when it comes to wielding Mjolnir.
Right.
You know, we've seen Thor struggle with his worthiness, especially early on in his journey.
Yeah, and it's not just about being physically strong.
No, it's about having the right kind of character.
It's about being worthy of the power that you hold.
And Thor's whole journey has been about proving himself worthy of his power.
And of his heritage.
And his role as a protector.
And then, of course, there's the whole family dynamic with Loki.
Oh, yeah.
This mischievous brother.
It's a classic sibling rivalry.
But they do love each other deep down.
Somewhere under all that chaos.
And speaking of chaos, we can't forget about Ragnarok.
The destruction of Asgard.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense concept.
It represents the end of an era.
But also the beginning of something new.
It's a reminder that everything changes, even for gods and heroes.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
We talk about 5 incredible Marvel heroes.
Each with their own unique stories and motivations.
And what I think is so cool about these characters is that even though they have these extraordinary abilities, they still face very human struggles.
Absolutely, and I think that's why they resonate with so many people.
Yeah, I mean, we can all relate to feeling like we're not good enough or struggling to overcome our flaws.
Exactly. These heroes show us that it's possible to rise above our challenges and become something greater than ourselves.
And I think that's a really powerful message.
I agree.
So what do you think, listener? What makes these heroes so compelling to you? What aspects of their stories do you find most relatable? As you continue to explore the world of Marvel comics and movies, keep those questions in mind. You might just discover something new about these iconic characters and about yourself.
That's a great point.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the Marvel Universe, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.